Welcome to World Prism. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. Imagine losing your biggest customer overnight. One day your business is thriving, and the next the phones go silent. The orders that once kept your farm running, your family employed, and your community afloat have vanished without warning. For America's soybean farmers in 2025, that nightmare is real. Fields that once promised prosperity now echo with uncertainty, as the backbone of rural America is shaken to its core. China, once the buyer of a quarter of all U.S. soybeans, has abruptly stopped placing orders. The world's largest market for soybeans has turned away, leaving American farmers scrambling for answers. U.S. soybean exports to China have plunged by 75% in just 8 months, a drop from nearly 1 billion bushels to barely 200 million. The numbers are staggering, and the impact is felt in every corner of the Midwest. Meanwhile, Brazil has stepped in, shipping a staggering 2.5 billion bushels to China. Brazilian ports are bustling, and their farmers are reaping the rewards of this new demand. China isn't buying fewer beans, it's just buying them from someone else. The global supply chain has simply shifted, leaving the US on the outside looking in. This isn't a blip, it's a seismic shift in global trade. The ripple effects are being felt not just in agriculture, but across industries and continents. Soybeans have become pawns in a high-stakes chess match between Washington and Beijing. Every move is calculated. Every decision has consequences that reach far beyond the farm. For decades, American fields fed China's massive appetite, especially its pig population. The relationship was simple. America grew, China bought, and both sides prospered. Now, that relationship is shattered. Trust has eroded, and the supply chain that once seemed unbreakable is now in pieces. Political strategy now outweighs the simple price of a bushel. Decisions made in government offices are rippling out to the heartland, changing lives overnight. As of November 5, 2023, 2025, China has placed 0 new orders for the next U.S. crop year, right at the start of peak export season. The timing couldn't be worse, and the uncertainty is paralyzing. Last year, this trade was worth nearly $13 billion. Today, it's worth nothing. The financial blow is immediate, and the long-term consequences are just beginning to unfold. The silence is deafening for American farmers and port workers alike. The hum of commerce has been replaced by anxious, waiting, and unanswered questions. The economic fallout is massive, leaving everyone to ask, what happens now? Communities that once thrived on soybean exports are now facing an uncertain future. The once reliable flow of goods has been replaced by uncertainty and fear. Every link in the chain, from farm to port, is feeling the strain. The soybean trade war has left a crater in the heart of American agriculture. As the dust settles, the question remains, can these communities recover, or is this the new reality for America's farmers? Why did China turn its back on American soybeans? The answer: tariffs and politics. The US-China trade war, which began in 2018, led China to slap a 34% tariff on US soybeans. That's like adding a third to the price tag, making American beans far more expensive than Brazil's. Chinese buyers simply went elsewhere. The tariff, meant as leverage, has become a self-inflicted wound for U.S. farmers. Now the Supreme Court is reviewing the legality of these tariffs, but for farmers the damage is done. China's pivot to Brazil is pure economics, supercharged by politics. Why pay more for the same product? For China, it's a pragmatic move. For America, it's a painful lesson in the unintended consequences of a trade war. But China's strategy goes deeper than just switching suppliers. It's not just about finding new partners or negotiating better deals. Beijing is fundamentally rethinking how much soy it actually needs. In April 2025, Beijing launched a bold plan to cut soy meal and animal feed from 13% to 10% by 2030. This move is part of a sweeping effort to overhaul the country's food system, making it more self-reliant and less vulnerable to global market shocks. The goal is clear: reduce dependence on foreign soybeans and boost food security. By lowering soy meal use, China hopes to shield itself from unpredictable trade disputes and price swings. By using less soy meal, China aims to slash its annual soybean imports by 10 million metric tons. That's a massive shift, with ripple effects across the global agricultural landscape. Even if tariffs vanish tomorrow, the US would find much of its old market gone for good. The demand that once fueled American farms is shrinking, and it's not coming back. China isn't just closing the door, it's redesigning the house to need a smaller doorway. Factories are being upgraded, feed formulas are changing, and the entire supply chain is adapting to a new reality. This is a permanent realignment, not a temporary spat. The global soybean trade map is being redrawn, and the old routes may never fully recover. China is diversifying suppliers and shrinking demand at the same time. It's buying more from Brazil, Argentina, and even exploring alternatives like corn and wheat for animal feed. For American farmers, it's a nightmare. The world's biggest customer is not just shopping elsewhere, it's going on a diet. Years of investment and planning are suddenly at risk. Generations of planting more soybeans to feed China's appetite may be coming to an end. The landscape of American agriculture could be changed for decades to come. The shift is strategic, not just economic. It's about national security, long-term planning, and a new vision for China's place in the world food system. The future for U.S. soybeans looks more uncertain than ever as the world's agricultural power balance shifts before our eyes. In the American heartland, the fallout is painfully real. With China gone, soybeans are piling up in silos, prices are crashing, and farmers are facing disaster. The USDA projects total crop receipts will fall to their lowest level since 2007. For family farms, even a small dip can mean foreclosure. States like Illinois, Iowa, and Minnesota, America's soybean backbone, are hit hardest. The loss of the Chinese market threatens not just farmers, but entire rural communities. Local economies tied to the rhythm of planting and harvest are in crisis. Farmers now face tough choices: stick with soybeans and hope for a miracle, or switch crops and risk new gluts. The shock is deep, and the future is precarious. The Chinese soybean bombshell has left American agriculture reeling. The pain doesn't stop at the farm. The collapse in exports has sent shockwaves through America's supply chain. Trucks, trains, and ships now sit idle. Freight demand has cratered, threatening jobs from truck drivers to dock workers. Pacific Northwest ports like Seattle and Longview, once bustling with soybean shipments, are slowing to a crawl. Local businesses, from cafes to maintenance crews, feel the pinch. The entire economic fabric of port towns is at risk. A decision made in Beijing and Washington is devastating workers across America. The gears of the soybean export machine are grinding to a halt. China isn't just cutting back on soybeans, it's searching for new protein sources. The government is pushing alternatives: synthetic amino acids, high-protein corn, even insect-based feeds. Black soldier fly larvae are being farmed for animal feed, and scientists are experimenting with fermented straw and microbes. The goal: produce over 10 million tons of non-grain proteins by 2030. But these alternatives are expensive. Lysine, for example, costs more per unit of protein than soy meal. Large corporate farms can adapt, but millions of small farmers struggle to keep up. The transition is creating a divide within China's agricultural sector. Innovation is key, but affordability is the real challenge. China's protein puzzle is far from solved. When the dust settles, the winners and losers are clear. The global soybean market has become a battleground, with nations vying for dominance and farmers caught in the crossfire. Brazil is the big winner, capturing America's most valuable agricultural market and enjoying record sales. Brazilian farmers are thriving, with their silos full and export ships constantly on the move. The US is the clear loser. Farmers face plummeting prices, surpluses, and a crippled supply chain. Many American farms are struggling to stay afloat, with unsold soybeans piling up and fields lying fallow. The lesson: over-reliance on a single market is risky, and trade wars have far-reaching consequences. The ripple effects are felt across the globe, impacting economies and livelihoods. In China, the government has gained strategic autonomy, but at a cost: higher prices and pressure on small farmers. The shift has led to increased costs for consumers and challenges for local farmers. The long-term success of China's food security plan depends on making soy alternatives affordable for all. Innovations in food technology are crucial to meeting this goal. The humble soybean now symbolizes a new era of global trade, where politics and strategy trump simple economics. It's a small bean with big implications. For the world, it's a geopolitical drama. The stakes are high, and the outcomes are uncertain. For American farmers, it's a personal tragedy. Many are losing their livelihoods, and the future looks bleak. The future of food is being rewritten, one bean at a time. Advances in agricultural technology and changing trade dynamics are reshaping the landscape. The global power balance is shifting. Nations are reevaluating their strategies and alliances in response to the changing market. The people on the ground pay the highest price. Farmers and their families bear the brunt of these global shifts. The soybean saga is far from over. As the world continues to evolve, so too will the story of this vital crop.